Hey fam, what's crackin'? This is Dylan from Local Injection. I apologize for the delay on this week's video. I have been feeling a bit under the weather, as you can probably hear in my voice. But alas, new music does not wait. So today I will be reviewing the sophomore record, Heroine, by Melbourne metalcore 5-piece Thornhill. It was released on the 4th of June via Unified and has 11 tracks, 4 of which were singles. Now the cool thing about Heroine is it's a kind of concept album with a very cinematic feel, and this is solidified in the fact that the liner notes are actually written as a movie script. If I can just open this fucking thing. So as you can see here, you've got, interior in, and then like dialogue. Again, you've got, the passenger in brackets commenting on her driving. I keep the tone, you left the light on in me, the lighting is green. Like, is that just not the coolest thing? Personally, the funny thing about Thornhill for me, and I've heard this from other people as well, is that they're one of those bands that are undeniably good, but I don't often seek out for whatever reason. Their first album, The Dark Pool, was a great project. I just never think to put it on, but when I do, I am just blown away every time. Man, did they deliver. As you can tell from the artwork, it has a very kind of gothic noir feel to it, which is also represented in the music videos and I guess the lyrical content of the album as well. It has themes of glamour, lust, and loosely religion. You've got titles like The Hellfire Club, Leather Wings, Arkangel, like all these things that has to do with hell. Frontman Jacob Charlton also has this very distinct vocal style which you can tell is heavily influenced by bands like Muse, which is also evident in their Leica version of Supermassive Black Hole, which is awesome, by the way. You should check it out. Going through the album, we've got the first track, The Hellfire Club. The opening riff actually reminds me a lot of Rough Hands by Alexisonfire. You've got these dynamic vocals over biting guitars and syncopated drums to keep it interesting from the get-go. It also has this underlying arpeggiated synth melody, which is a nice touch and something that kind of sets the tone for what you're expecting for the rest of the album. The next song, Leather Wings, is more traditional Thornhill. You've got fast, beefy riffs and complex drums, and also this really cool delayed drop before the breakdown with these frantic screams from Jacob, which caught me off guard, to be honest. It's definitely one of those tracks that are gonna go down well live. Blue Velvet is a standout of the album. You've got falsettos in the verses and then these soaring vocals in the chorus. And what keeps this song engaging is around the halfway point you've got a slower tempo with these picked melodies. Then these big strums in the outro and all the lyrics just kind of bleed together with the way that he kind of slowly slurs the delivery. Another example of how the band are doing things a little differently on this project and demonstrating that early on. The next song, Arkangel, was a single and one of my favorites from the record. It has a gothic feel that is very reminiscent of The Crow, especially the music video. You have got to watch it if you are a 90s cult classic fan. It has light guitars and very prominent bass in the first verse, and a much warmer tone in the second verse with a very ominous lead up to the second chorus. That bass returns to the forefront of the mix for the bridge, and you've got this deft vocal riffing with these nice harmonies in the final chorus. The outro has this very Smashing Pumpkins feel to it, with this melancholic melody and these sirens that fade out the song that kind of makes you think of like the seedy underbelly of LA or New York at night, something like that. The next song, Valentine, is different to any other song that Thornhill have put out before. You've got programmed beats with this busy sub bass and distorted echoing guitars. The strings in the chorus are a nice touch, and almost the entire song is performed in falsetto. It shows a lot of control in Jacob's voice, but also the dynamic of his performance style. Definitely another standout on the record in my opinion. Casanova was another single and the first to be released before the album. It got a lot of mixed reviews, and to be honest, it's probably my least favorite song on the record. It has some somewhat confusing sounds and styles, but it does serve as a good bridge between the Thornhill that we know and love and the direction that they're heading. The swooning vocals and fierce screams really help get across this persona of like a sleazy kind of lustful guy that is represented well in the aesthetic of the film clip. The next track, Something Terrible Came with the Rain, is an instrumental which seems to be a running theme on Thornhill albums. You've got this lightly picked electric guitar and ambient percussion. The strings and pizzicato in it give a very cinematic feel, like I was talking about at the start of this video, that leads quite well into the next song, Hollywood. As such, the next song is Hollywood, which was a single, quite surprisingly, because it's around 5 minutes long. Judging by the overall feel and sound of the album thus far, I feel like this song would have been a good closer or at least title track, because it seems to kind of embody everything that the band's trying to get across this far in the project. You've got these garage-style drums and distorted bass before the song kicks in, and a really cool halftime break with these super tasty drops in the bridge before the pace picks up again with these offbeat drums. To top it off, you've got some really nice harmonies in the final chorus, but I will say that it seems to end somewhat abruptly despite being about 5 minutes long. Moving on, we have the song Raw, which was another single. One of the defining things about this track is this glitchy resonating synth throughout, and the meter of the almost spoken word vocals match the grungy riffs of the track to really make it feel more cohesive. The whole groove of this song just makes you move. The next song, Varsity Hearts, also feels like it could have been an album closer, particularly because it's so big, but I guess that's what the band was going for with this record by making every track feel so epic. You've got spacious percussion and a subtle synth, and then this delicate piano comes in for the second verse quite unexpectedly, but really makes the track. It crescendos to this busy climax with strings, therefore feeling like it could serve as an appropriate closer. Finally, we have the title track, Heroine. You've got these picked, distorted riffs with a wet effect on them, so they're nice and reverberant. Again, another demonstration of Jacob's impressive vocal range and control. And once more, you've got these strings and what I believe is xylophone to ride out the song and again contribute to that cinematic feel. Like I've said a few times already, I feel like there were other opportunities in the project that could have served as an album closer, but hey, it works. The best song on the record for me, as you've probably already guessed, would be Arkangel. From that first snare drop at the start of the song, you can tell that you're in for something special. Not to mention the awesome video and artwork that just screams The Crow, which is one of my favorite movies of all time. I just think the vocal performance, the musicianship, and even the lyrics of this song serves a great bridge from the Thornhill we know to the Thornhill they want to be while holding on to their roots. The best lyric on the album for me would be in a hole, I can't get over you, from Raw. I love the wordplay, the double entendre. It's simple but effective. It's kind of this literal and metaphorical dilemma of not being able to get over someone because you're trapped and you can't get out, but also everything reminds you of them. All in all, I would give Heroine by Thornhill 8 out of 10. Like I said at the start of this video, I wasn't going into this album expecting to be blown away from the get-go, but I think what they've done is just that. They've been able to explore new sonic territory and usher in this new era of Thornhill without forgetting where they came from. You know, you've still got the metalcore elements of screams and breakdowns and big riffs, but they've also got falsettos and programmed beats and strings. As someone who loves heavy metal music and soft orchestral music, I feel like this album is a great amalgamation of the two. So that's it. Thank you so much for watching. This has been Dylan for Local Injection. There hasn't been too many more albums in the coming weeks on my watch list, so this could be the last video for a little while, but bear with me, hang tight, and as always, listen to local music. Peace.